Hello, hi, this is Paul Fan. Has been for a while. I haven't recorded any video yet. This is actually the first video in the January 1st in 2017. I've been working on so many different areas about internet marketing, traffic, and email marketing, sending an email. As I described earlier, the two most important things I do every day for my online marketing is to get the traffic, and second, to send email broadcasting, email marketing. I'm glad I starting with internet marketing around end of July. Yes, end of July, beginning August. So it has been August, September, October, November, December, which is 5 months. So 4 months right now. Last month December, I was able to just making uh, same amount of the income as my daily job. So I'm pretty excited. That is pretty much after the expenses. If not minus expenses, it will be actually more than what I make. But of course, my job income, I also take portion of for the medical, health insurance, etc., etc. So um, it's not really reflecting what you my salary, but net income, that is more than whatever deduct all the deductible, everything, actually equal a little bit more than my work income. So I'm very excited. So not talk too much about that. I want to share with you is what I do actually, so it can benefit. um, I do try to say something to motivate you, but my purpose is more education. Um, I actually experiencing something like, for example, I record this video. I have a 90-day, 60-day challenge, and actually kind of boost up my sales. But after that, I kind of go down a little bit. My momentum drop, and then for some time, I feel I got the trouble. I cannot continue doing that, and I work hard again, pick up again. So my life is like a sales is like up and down cycle. Um, I'll show with you with another video, but this one I was showing you that what I'm focused on the past 2 weeks, which is the email validation and scrubbing. Why? Because I have a chance to starting to do the self-host. Of course, you can send broadcast with Airwave, get response in Nipka, send, reach all different kind of autoresponder. You can name it the Mailchimp and anything. Um, they actually very good, very good in delivery is good, but this is cost associated with that. So normal is for current my subscription like 20,000 lists. It cost me almost $200 for each for Aweber, and for other program it also cost me between 60 and 125. Aweber is pretty much the most expensive, and but they are good, that's why I use them. Um, so I try to using the self-host, but the problem is I install the software, which is I described in previous video, using ARP Rich, using Interspire. Those software, they have good software, but the problem is I send those emails out, and the response, the rate is not as good as everybody get response. Even though lots of people say you can get the better response, but I didn't. Um, and I found that one of my server, which is just start, just warm up, and even get blacklisted by spam hosts. So how come the list I export from Aweber and still get that? Because Aweber has, I believe they have an internal the system to remove the spam trap, to remove the hard bounce, etc. But once you export everything from Aweber, and even though that's up in the subscriber, you didn't purchase the list from anybody else, but this is a legit opt-in, but import to the your self-host, and then you get problem. And so That's why I'm talking about email validation and swamping. And so the first is email validation or swamping, sometimes email cleaning. There are many names for it, but essentially what you do here is to remove as much known crap as possible. So verification is much costed part of your overall data hygiene process. So email validation remove as much as possible bad data before you need to import to your self-host and save you time and avoid you from the blacklist. So when I say known crap in the suppression list, this is a list known dead email, spam trap, honeypot, complainers, etc. And spam trap, as you know, is some of the email address probably haven't been already discontinued. Even Google say, average email lasts only for 6 months. So those email discontinued, they actually reuse that as a spam trap. So whatever people send the email to those email account, and they'll get you blacklist. So that's a spam trap. Honeypot, you can Google it to see what that basically is similar to make your email IP address or domain name blacklist. Complainer, same thing, they report the complaint. You basically swap your list against the suppression list and remove any of the bad email you have on your list. So you compare to the list you have to those maybe 2 million of data and see if you have any anything in there, then you remove you from your list. So there are many steps in email validation, removing your list of harmful bad email that you do not want to email to. Some email swamping action should be deduping, okay, or removing duplicate, very easy to understand. Keyword and profane, remove an email address with a specific word like a spam, www, shit, the mean, etc. However, note that this remove any part of email address. So if you had an email address like spam@domain.com, it would remove. But if you also had the email like joylovespam@hotmail.com, then this email too would be removed. So be careful with this filter. With this filter, if you are using it, bad domain. Like it say, these are key bad domain out. There are key bad domain out there that are associated with spam trap or the honeypot. So you would want to scrub against this list and remove any email you have with this domain. Domain extension, removing email like org, mil, ru, uk, etc. For example, basically any email address extension like ru, uk. If you don't want to email to Russia or UK, then you remove those domain or mil, email to military. These are not necessarily bad email, but if you are looking to only email to, say, U.S. customer, then UK RU maybe is wasting time. A numeric email that start with only numeric is typically a bad email, and for the most part, most only numeric domain as well. For example, 1234@domain.com or 1234@1234.com or joy@232.com. Typically, you would not want to mail to those. And then of email. Sometimes you get an email like so long, 233k. This is like you randomly typing on the keyboard at yahoo.com, something ridiculous like typical most email addresses are fairly short. The average is not much more than like 15-25 characters. For example, I really like cheese at yahoo.com. The email is 28 characters in total and very long or longer than on average. So when I scrub a list, typically choose up to say 40 character long, maximum anything longer is delete. Now, understand the whole idea of email scrubbing. Your list is to remove as many bad known email as possible, but they are very possible you will end up removing some good email, right? So, but if you really want to be safe, then choose 1%, 2% of your good email is worth not hitting a spam trap or losing your server. On that same note, it's a known fact that American Online, or for example, put out upward of 500,000 honeypot that's a day from a banned email account. So it's impossible for anyone to remove 100% spam trap or honeypots. But there are the way to many daily being edited and impossible for us to know that. So the large ISP do not advertise, not pass around the information obviously, and if someone claims they can remove 100% of all spam trap and honeypot and don't trust us any further, then you can sort them. Last thing is typically if you are scrapping this or buying this and have no idea where they are coming from, you'll probably see of this example. If you have your own opt-in list or they are generally business list, then you don't see half of this thing in your list. But it's better to be safe than sorry, and email validation is a way to go. Okay, thank you so much. Have a very blessed day. Thank you. Bye.